Taiwan. I'm Brossard with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. The head of Taiwan's Ocean Affairs Council has accused China of stoking panic after its Coast Guard intercepted and boarded a Taiwan tourist boat. Rick Lowert reports on how the Ginman Islands have become the latest flashpoint in rising cross-strait tensions.
56-year-old Liu Wenxiong has been fishing the waters of Taiwan's Ginman Islands for 3 decades. But today, he chose to stay far from China's maritime border. China Coast Guard ships lurk a few nautical miles from here and have been intercepting Taiwanese vessels. It's all part of a rapidly worsening spat between Taiwan and China, which claims Taiwan as part of its territory.
两岸可以讲，可以谈，就不要动武啊！不要这事情发生了要去解决，要去看怎么样把它言和，不要害死这些百姓出来去心惊胆跳的。
Just a day before, China Coast Guard intercepted and boarded a Taiwan tourist boat. They spent half an hour checking the crew's documents before letting the boat go. Those on board feared they could be taken to China.
登检这一艘船，对象我们认为是伤害了我们的人民的感情，制造人民的恐慌。
This is all in response to the death of 2 Chinese nationals near Ginman. Their speedboat capsized as Taiwan Coast Guard chased them out of territorial waters. But it also comes as Beijing increases pressure on the self-ruled island nation to submit to Chinese rule, sending military boats and planes into areas around Taiwan, making the Ginman Islands particularly vulnerable. These islands of just over 100,000 people are hundreds of kilometers from Taiwan's capital, Taipei, but they're just a short ferry ride from the Chinese city of Xiamen. The people here have long had strong economic and personal links with China. These ties are now at risk as these islands find themselves at the center of an escalating geopolitical situation. People here make a living selling the fish they catch directly to the Chinese market and through tourism geared towards welcoming Chinese visitors. This, despite the fact there has been no government-level communication between Taipei and Beijing in years. When tensions rise like this, the people of Ginman feel helpless.
总要想办法解决吧。对呀，不能够说你们两个在那边吵架好啊，结果我们很比较倒霉哈，讲一个比较不好听的，叫好像说出气出在这个岛屿的人民的身上。
There are now fears that by exerting its authority in these waters, Beijing is trying to create a new normal that shrinks Taiwan's space. And it's the people here in Ginman who are most feeling that pressure. Their daily lives are at the mercy of China's determination to change a delicate but long-established status quo. Kama Xu, Pigeon, and Rick Lowert in Ginman for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan officials are trying to turn down the heat on tensions with China after the recent disputes around Taiwan's Ginman Islands. Tiffany Wong reports.
Taiwan's officials are trying to navigate some tough diplomatic waters and keep the peace as they address increasing tensions in the Taiwan Strait. Their efforts come as both Taiwanese and Chinese officials gather on Taiwan's outlying Ginmen Islands, just off the coast of southern China. The activity comes after China's Coast Guard intercepted a Taiwanese tourist boat. Taiwan's officials say the move caused panic and threatens peace in the strait.
基于海峡的和平，基于两岸之间的善意，登检这样的船，我们表示遗憾。
The boarding followed an incident last week in which Taiwan's Coast Guard chased a speedboat carrying 4 Chinese nationals. Taiwan says the vessel was in its territorial waters. The pursuit ended in the death of 2 people on the Chinese boat. A Chinese official is visiting Ginmen to assist the families of the dead as they collect their bodies and help the 2 survivors return home.
我们此行来金门就是要了解事实真相，协助家属善后。我们要求台湾有关方面认真对待家属的正当关切。
Taiwan's defense minister says they are monitoring the situation, but stressed the importance of maintaining peace.
我们本身就是为了避免战争啊，不会主动介入，因为介入的话会升高冲突啊，我们不乐见。
China's Coast Guard frequently crosses into Taiwan's waters, saying it's conducting regular drills. But incidents like these involving ordinary civilians are rare. Taipei is working to increase its national defenses in the face of warnings and threats from Beijing. But one wrong step on either side could turn words into actions. Justin Wu and Tiffany Wong for TaiwanPlus.
A Japanese Airbus Beluga cargo plane has returned to Taiwan after a 14-year hiatus. The Japan Airlines plane landed at Taiwan's Taoyuan Airport Monday night, marking a relaunch of the company's Taiwan-Japan air freight business. Representatives from the airport and the Japan-Taiwan Exchange Association were present for the plane's arrival. The massive cargo plane is one of only 5 ever built. Aviation fans, young and old, showed up in droves to catch a glimpse of the rare aircraft. Health authorities have announced Taiwan's first local case of measles this year. The Centers for Disease Control says a man from northern Taiwan is in isolation after being diagnosed with measles last week. The CDC is warning people to be on guard while it investigates the source of the infection. Taiwan has reported 4 cases of measles since 2020. Most people are vaccinated as children against the virus, which causes rashes and high fevers. Over 30 trees in central Taiwan have died after being deliberately poisoned. As Harrell Hughes reports, police are looking into the apparent arbicide.
A tree-lined street in central Taiwan. But on closer look, the leaves are falling. The branches are bare, and there are small holes in the trunks. These trees have been poisoned.
钻孔，然后直接就注射药物进去的。哦，那这个呢，它是注射药物，但是它不是用钻孔的方式，它是用切割的方式。
More than 30 trees around a large factory in Changhua County are now dead, and they carry the marks of what has been done to them. The trunks have been sawn and drilled into, and some have even been burned. Many of these trees have been here for over 30 years and are valued by the community. Police say the trees were professionally and deliberately killed, and are looking into how it happened.
不会影响到行车及其他人的动线。我们还会再调阅附近的监视视器来厘清相关的案情。
Police say those responsible will be fined over $1,000 if caught. And as the community comes together to seek answers, they're hoping the area's remaining trees can be protected. Delphine Chen and Harrell Hughes for TaiwanPlus.
Pigeon racing in Taiwan is extremely lucrative. So much so that people are trying to kidnap its highly prized competitors. Laurel Stewart takes a look.
Men on a mission to get their kidnapped pigeons back. They're scaling new heights to recapture what they believe is rightfully theirs. Massive homing pigeon races are held here in Kaohsiung in southern Taiwan at this time of year. It's a sport animal rights groups condemn as cruel, yet the rewards for races here can be huge, reaching hundreds of thousands of US dollars. Fanciers take the pigeons on a boat out to sea, then release them to race 10 kilometers back to Kaohsiung. But if the weather is bad, the birds can get confused and fly the wrong way. Right into one of these nets. They've been set up atop nearby Jiashan Mountain by organised groups who want to ensnare the prized competitors so they can demand ransoms of hundreds of US dollars per bird from owners who are determined to get their golden geese back. Local authorities say the bird nappers could be in violation of the law.
若捕获有主动物，则可能涉及窃盗罪嫌。
For both kidnappers and fanciers, with this much money on the line, the stakes are sky high. But for pigeons held in captivity their whole lives, there may not be much difference between death in a race or in a net. John Su, Sally Jensen and Laurel Stewart for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Before we go, get your heart rate up with these runners taking part in a light run for the Copenhagen Light Festival. I'm Philip Brossard. Take care, and we'll see you next time.